Gather around, freaks. It's Christmas Day. And look at this. There's a gift under the tree, and it's addressed to guest B. Dolly. Looks like it's something regarding a dinosaur. Let's open it up and see what it is on a very special Christmas Day edition of Hey, did you see this one? Hello, Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Day. It's definitely 100% Christmas Day. It's episode 212 on Christmas Day. Welcome to Hey, Did You See This One? The weekly review reaction roundtable discussion where we just have to ask the question, hey, did you see this one? I'm joined as always by my co-host, Stephen Boba Blackfly Waters. My name is Tammy and the Jason R. Phillips. On this show, we take a movie and we pull it apart and talk about every single element of the movie until we basically never have to talk about the movie again. So buckle up, Buttercup, because like I said, it's Christmas Day. And I'd like to welcome back to the show. I mentioned her in the intro. Now, this month is a Christmas month, okay? It's spooky Christmas themed. However, our guest, B. Dolly, has been asking me for almost as long as they asked me to do Cool as Ice, which we did on Christmas Day last year, to please, can we do Tammy and the T-Rex? We couldn't fit it into any of the themes that we had throughout the year. So I said, guess what, B? For Christmas this year, I'm going to give you the gift on Christmas Day of talking
You
about
are or we are? We
are. Sorry.
Thank you, Santa. I'm so excited. You know, you say that we'll never have to talk about this movie again, but I will always talk about this movie.
Fair enough.
This movie is one of my first date movies. They sit through it. They either have the same sense of humor as me or they're really dedicated. Either way, it's going to work out well.
I believe you said the same thing about Cool as Ice, which it's like...
It's one of mine too, yeah. And The Room.
These movies, and The Room, yeah. Both of these movies are great. Would be
Holy
great.
Trinity.
The Holy Trinity of bad dialogue. But I could see why it would be a good litmus test to see if somebody that's trying to court you or you're trying to court, like, you would gel with them if they can sit through something like this. Because if you sit down with somebody and they're like, can we turn this off? You're going to be like, well, then you don't get my sense of humor. So I get it. I understand.
You don't get my sense of humor, or you are not dedicated enough to get into my pants. Like, if you're dating me, you have to at least either get my sense of humor or deal with the fact that I will psychologically torture you for the entire duration.
Fair. I think it's also this one. I like this movie. It's it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a piece of shit, but I enjoy it. Everybody in the movie is having a good time. There's no actors that seem like they're phoning it in. Everybody's completely committed to the bit. And even like Denise Richards is like fully committing to being traumatized by her boyfriend being put inside of her.
She knows what she's in, which I think is very important for a movie like this. She understands, because she's not a bad actor. Like, she's pretty good in stuff. She's kind of like a B movie actor, but in this, she I feel like she commits to the bit so well and so hard that you're like, she's biting the scenery a little bit on purpose because of the kind of movie that it is, which I think is important. And I think everybody's sort of in on the joke. If this was made and everybody thought it was like a serious production, I think that would take away from it. Like, if everybody was trying to like not be in on the joke, or be above it. But with that said, thank you for coming back to the show, B. Regardless, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Let's talk about let's do a synopsis. Let's do a synopsis style situation.
Okay. Oh, you want me to do that? All right.
Or do you want me to do it?
Sorry, I forgot that I have to play going. We did an episode last night. I'm hungover.
To you. He demands you synopsize this film. Tell him how. why, who, what occurs in this film.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
I was gonna.
Yes.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So this film stars a young Paul Walker and a young Denise Richards. And essentially what happens is Paul Walker is in love with Denise Richards, who likes him back, but she's got this errant youth of an ex-boyfriend who's very, very jealous. And they get into this like fight on school grounds, which involves a lot of crotch grabbing. And then Paul Walker sneaks into Denise Richards' room, and the youths just kind of like follow him in there. And then the ex-boyfriend beats up Paul Walker and then leaves him for dead in a wildcat sanctuary where he gets mauled by a lion and ends up in a coma. And then a mad scientist and his slutty assistant / girlfriend kidnap Paul Walker and cut his brain out and put it in an animatronic T-Rex that then goes absolutely nuts revenge on all of his bullies and everyone while maintaining a little bit of love with Denise Richards.
That sounds
Yeah,
right to me.
I think there's a lot loaded.
I love explaining this movie to people.
Before they
And
cut
they're
his
like-
brain out, they play around with his wiener. I like that part.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
He's got a
Where's
giant
his
donger
brain,
on him.
though?
That
Yes.
Paul Walker. They call him the tripod. Okay, well, thank you for that. Let's go into our brief histories with the film and talk about that for a little bit.
Brief history.
A brief
A brief history.
You know what, B? Why don't you go first with this one as well? Let's hear your history and how you came to know and love Tammy and the T-Rex.
Sure. So I saw this movie around, I think, 1994, 1995. And it was a fever dream for the longest time. Like, I would tell people vague things that I could remember about this film. And I didn't know who was in it because I was like 11, 12 when it came out. I didn't know who Paul Walker was. Nobody knew who Paul Walker was. I didn't know who Denise Richards was. So I couldn't remember who was in it. I couldn't remember the entire plot, but it left like a mark on me. And I kept bringing up this movie as like, I need to find this movie. And everyone gaslit me into telling me it didn't exist. And then one of my friends was like, hey, have you ever seen Tammy and the T-Rex? And I'm like, no, what's that? And then she put it on and we were like 10 seconds in and I'm like, this is the movie. It does exist. I was so vindicated, and watching it again, I'm like, this is just a perfect bad movie. Like it has all of the elements. It is like the Princess Bride of bad movies. It's got comedy, it's got action, it has graphic horror, it's got romance.
It's got it all. It's got a mad scientist.
Groin grabbing. It's groin grabbingly awesome.
It's brain-grabbingly awesome.
And it's got an animatronic T-Rex.
Mhm.
Yeah, a pretty decent animatronic T-Rex, all things considered. Cool. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I'll go next because mine is kind of similar where I never saw it. I was tangentially aware of it my whole life because, I remember going to the movie store in 1994 and being like, what's that? But I never rented it because one of my friends who had seen it was like, it's the goriest thing you've ever seen. It's crazy. It's too over the top. So my whole life, I just assumed it was just like a splatterhouse, grindhouse film where it's really not. The horror, typically I don't like seeing somebody's head get sawed open and their brain removed, but it's so like played up in a comic way that it was like this movie would be remade as a cartoon really well, I think, or Saturday morning cartoon with this kind of conceit would have been interesting. But it's one of those movies where I'm going, who's this for? And it's literally for people that were like between the ages of 13 and 18 in 1994, basically.
Yeah. The GAC generation.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like a trauma film, like one of those. And I'm surprised it isn't. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I remember seeing it I remember the cover art of the movie and being like, what is this?
Sorry.
How about you, Steve?
Well, the first time I even heard of this movie was, I think I was watching like an episode of Red Letter Media or something, and they were watching it for one of their roundtable review shows, and they all had a really great time watching it. So I was like, maybe I should watch it. And then I watched it by myself, and I was like, I didn't have as much fun as they did. But then I watched it with other people, and I was like, oh, that's the secret sauce. You got to be watching this with people, and you have a grand time. And you know, I think I've only watched it a couple times since I originally heard of it, but there is a video game that came out a couple years ago where this movie is just playing on the television, and you can just watch it in its entirety on the couch in the game. I'm not going to mention the game because the creator's a piece of shit, but I'll tell you later, B. I'll tell you what it is later.
I also watched most of it like through that lens as well.
I watched a lot of it just sitting there because I was like, oh, I can do my laundry while playing a video game while watching a movie in the video game. Cool. And that's what I did. But yeah, I don't have like a long labored history of this movie, but I do have sort of a brief history, which is that I heard about it, I watched it, I liked it, and I've watched it a couple times since then. And I just finished watching it again about 25 minutes ago. Right before I joined this call with you guys, I was like, booze in the brain. And then
because it was Christmas Eve last night, and you were partying on Christmas Eve, and now it's Christmas Day. And you're
do we have to put up with this charade again this year?
It's 2 p.m. on December 25th.
I'm a real Grinch. I'm a real Ebenezer Scrooge.
It's episode 212, and last week we did Black Christmas. So
I forgot about
2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago we watched.
Already done that. But that's my brief history. Is that I've seen it a couple times.
Awesome. So I'm the person who's seen it the least here. So I had a great time with it. So I'm excited to talk about it.
This is, I think, maybe the first time that I've sat and like actually paid attention with my like undivided attention kind of thing. They're watching it. Yeah.
I could see this being a movie either in the background at a party, or you just put it on to fall asleep, or you put it on just to like have on in the background,
or you're just talking over it and making fun of it, which is
exactly
usually how I watch it. Yeah.
But sitting down and analyzing every frame of the movie was a unique experience, I'm sure.
There's a couple of jokes that I don't think I've ever landed with me appropriately this time, where I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that joke the first time because I was doing a weird German scientist impression at my friends watching the movie.
They sneak a lot of little weird, like it's a comedy horror, like at its core. Comedy horror.
Go ahead and just say it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy.
True. Cool. We can talk a little bit about some production stuff. I don't know if there's
all right. Quiet on set. Are we rolling? Okay, let's shoot this piece of sound, speed, action.
Okay, so the production of this is wild.
Yeah, okay. I knew that you would come prepared.
Yes. So the whole production, the entire movie was just was made because the director, Stuart Raffle, was approached by a man who owned theaters in South America, and he had an animatronic T-Rex, and he was shipping the T-Rex to the park in Texas. And Raffle said, like, everything worked. He had it for 2 weeks before it was going to be shipped to Texas, and he came to me and said, we can make a movie with it. I said, what's the story? He said, I don't have a story, but we have to start filming within the month.
That's literally exactly what I said this happened to Jason. That's what I said. Yeah. I messaged Jason today. I was like, this movie feels like they just had a dinosaur for a limited amount of time. And they're like, we got to shoot a movie in like 2 weeks.
That's literally what it was. He had access to a dinosaur, and his friend was like, hey, you want to make a movie with it? And he's like, I'd be stupid not to. Wrote the script in a week.
That plays into my theory that they just didn't really know what they were doing, and they were just cobbling together a movie as they went. And then Steven was like, yeah, they were just picking scenes out of a hat, which is also what it feels like.
It's what it felt like. This guy made Ice Pirates and Mac and Me. No, now it all
made Mac and Me? Oh, man.
Gee
crazy.
Whiz.
Sorry, B.
So yeah, he straight up said, like, he's like, I plagiarized this from like several different sources. The script is very thin. I had a week to make a movie with an animatronic an animatronic dinosaur, and I took it. And you know what? Respect to that.
You did all right. For having a week to do it, you did all right.
I think that might be one of my favorite, like, how it's made stories in film.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely far from the worst movie we've ever done on this show before. So good for him. Good for him. I have absolutely nothing to add beyond speculation. You said $1 million budget?
Yeah. There's no, my notes don't have, I wasn't given the actual amount of money that it made, but I can't imagine it made very much money.
I can't find that either. So maybe it
didn't. But it's worth noting that it is a cult classic. Like, it came back into the lexicon at some point, and people regard this as like a fun cult classic. Like, I could see you throwing this on in a theater, a small theater, and having people go to a midnight showing, and it just doing gangbusters, like sell at the theater with this kind of thing. So
yeah, let's see if a real Grease too. Cool. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add about production for this one, but I'm glad that my theory was almost entirely accurate.
I wanted to mention it's interesting that it has a young Paul Walker in it, which was crazy to see. Also, the score in this movie ranges from like wacky hijinks style music to, like, at one point there's just like a public domain classical music song playing in the background, which I thought was funny.
The dinosaur creeping score is basically like a discount version of the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie score. You're like, what the? It sounds a lot like Dracula.
And also the cinematography of the movie is fine, but I really thought it was funny how they do the POV of the dinosaur, but it's clearly just somebody with a camera going like this, like just doing weird like little zoom ins.
Yeah.
They don't really differentiate or put a filter on it or have, like, you know, a HUD or anything for the dinosaur, and you have to kind of know what's happening to understand that it is from the dinosaur's point of view. Because at first I was like, why did the camera style just change at this point when he's first looking around? And I was like, oh, it's supposed to be his POV as he wakes up. So I thought that was funny.
You can't ask why with this movie.
No.
Like, why does the dinosaur's arms like length change
come out the side
so,
of
so often? Yeah. Like, why can an animatronic dinosaur cry tears?
Dial a phone and also check for the coin in the coin deposit slot.
Also, at the end of the movie, when the guy is like, they're like, how will a tranquilizer work on a robot? And he's like, and it seems like he's bullshitting an answer on the spot, but then he actually has a tranquilizer gun. You're like, oh, I guess he wasn't making that up. It was all the truth. Yeah, it's wonderfully stupid. Yeah. The more questions that crop up in my mind, the more I'm like, I can't even. You could just talk forever about whys. Why? Why does what's his name? Byron have a different outfit like every second.
Every scene.
He appears off one side.
He's a stylish guy.
I know. He's got layers on. He just rips off one and has the another one underneath.
You know, for this being made in 1994. And him being not only the token black guy, but also the token gay guy.
Mm-hmm.
They were really nice to him.
All of the characters that we're meant to care about were very nice to him, and the bullies were not homophobic, except for the two shitty police officers who, like, every time
there's one
joke, you're like, shut up.
But I mean,
it was a stupid joke too.
What I liked about that is that they gave that shitty offensive dialogue to like boomer crappy characters that like only boomers would laugh at, that kind of stuff, kind of thing. So it made sense. It was basically just what real life is like, not only in the 90s but today.
It was the most realistic thing about the movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was surprising. The movie of this era usually pokes a lot more fun at people who are different, and this movie didn't necessarily go out of its way to do that, which I found heartwarming. It made me feel nice.
Fantastic.
That's all I have to say.
Do you have any more production notes, B, or do you want to go into the body of the episode and we'll break this thing apart?
Go into the body of the episode. I mean, there are a couple of bodies of the episode. There's Denise Richards. There's the slutty nurse.
There's Paul Walker as crop top.
on this.
There's
IMDb,
Paul Walker's literal body.
Yeah, his dancing wiener.
On the IMDb, it's literally just a bunch of pictures of Denise Richards from that ending sequence where she's dancing around in white lingerie, and I'm like,
Everybody back up, because here comes the body of the episode.
well, this is of course the sequence of the movie where we take the movie, we rip it apart, we leave no stone unturned, and we talk through all the major points. It opens up with a dance sequence of Denise Richards and her cheerleader friends, sort of doing an opening number bit. The song sounds like Alice Cooper, but I don't think it is. Which I wouldn't have been surprised to learn it was Alice Cooper, but I looked it up and it didn't ping immediately. But they're practicing.
No, it's Alice Cooper's cousin Marvin.
Marvin Cooper. Yeah, Marvin Cooper over here. But also, Fast and Furious himself, Paul Walker, shows up. He's the star football player. His name is Michael. And we're also introduced to Byron. And I wrote, progressive character, kinda. But for the time...
I mean, he is very stereotypical. But I think the fact that Paul Walker is immediately like charmed by him and they seem like they're good friends is like something that is different for the era and respectful, which I was like, thumbs up movie. You're doing good. So far, you're good. You're okay in my books. And it stays that way. But yeah, then he is immediately attacked by Billy. His name's Billy, right? The bully?
Yeah.
Billy the bully? Yeah.
We learn that they're kind of
he's-
seeing each other, but also Billy thinks that she's his girlfriend, which is
I
a
think
weird
Billy thinks
dynamic.
that she's his property.
But Billy won't leave her alone, essentially,
Okay.
and won't give her up. Which, like, he also looks like he's 50.
He and his friends look like they just got off the Fury Road. And they act like it too. Like they are trying to murder him. And they want to see blood. All of his gang of road warriors are just screaming for blood.
Interesting that Sean Whalen is one of his right-hand men and one of his probably first roles. Sean Whalen, character actor from all of times. He's been in everything. It was really funny to see that guy. Yeah.
And honestly, they have never named a character so aptly as naming him Weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Weasel? I think so. Damn. I'm looking at his credits now. Yeah, this is pretty early on in his world of acting. Only 4 years under his belt. Oh, he was in the Ferris Bueller's TV series, which I didn't know existed until just now.
I had forgot. I knew that existed at one point and forgot, but yeah. That's great.
He's in Batman Returns. Remember, he's like the paper boy.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Cool. Kind of a throwaway role for him, but I mean, everybody's kind of a throwaway role in this movie besides the main three. Even Paul Walker.
He gets a lot of screen time.
For like 15 minutes and then he's gone.
Billy and Michael get into it over Tammy. There's also that moment where Michael gives Tammy the rose, and she's like, "You can't give me that. What if Billy finds out?" So he bites it and eats it, which is like a huge. I was like, "What's the point of that?" But it comes back later, obviously. They have a full on. It's
doing that's Chekhov smoking Lily or whatever it is.
They have a full on fight. The police show up, even though this seems to be like.
We talk about this fight because this fight looks like it was choreographed by like an indie wrestler. They're literally elbow drops.
They do elbow drops.
Like, I don't even know what kind of standoff you would call it, but like one's got one's crotch, one's got the other one, and they're like,
the police officer.
Nuts.
The police officer says, "We've got ourselves a Mexican like scrotum off or something like that." He like literally
testicular standoff.
Yeah. But then we find out that Paul Walker's faking it because he's wearing a cup. Wouldn't you know that? You would know the difference between grabbing a man's junk and a plastic piece of coverage over top of it, a wiener helmet or whatever it's called.
I love the way he says it too. Like he sounds so triumphant. He's like, "What's the matter, buddy? You ain't got no balls? I got a cup on." He's so proud of himself, and I'm so proud for him.
I tricked him.
I think it's funny that they're in clearly like Encino, California, like a pretty like big area. Like they're in California, I think. But the police, it feels like a small town because the police just know all their names, and they're like, Billy, you're not supposed to be on school grounds. You're banned from this place. Why do the police know all their names? They even know Weasel's name later in the movie. It's like, is that Weasel? He's squished.
I assume that like they know, obviously they know Byron because Byron is the son of the sheriff, and then all the shitty bullies. We have to assume that they're just in trouble with the law all the time because they know their names. I don't think they know everyone's names, right? Like they don't know.
I mean, I feel like there's a reason that Billy is not allowed at the school. He seems like the type that wouldn't be allowed within 100 feet of a school or a playground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he probably like shot off fireworks in the gymnasium or something. You're like, no, he probably committed sex crimes. Like,
no, he's 25 and Tammy at the time was 16.
That's
is
true,
what it feels like. Yeah. And also when Tammy runs away after Michael's like, what are you talking about? And she runs away yelling, leave me alone. She's so over the top. Leave me alone. Which I thought was really good. And that's kind of like the tone of this movie. Later in the movie, when every time she tells the T-Rex that she loves it, it gets increasingly more insane.
Yeah. Yes. The movie is fucking crazy. Anyway, from here, what happens? I can't remember. We go over to the doctor and Helga. They've got some sort of animatronic dinosaur. It's the powerful. Craziest like hard cut to like the most genre shifting thing you've ever seen in your life, where it's like high school, and then all of a sudden it's like foggy warehouse with a giant robotic dinosaur and people in lab coats like laughing maniacally about taking over the world or whatever the fuck they're talking about throughout this. Oh man. So my theory was that they were gonna like get hit by lightning. The movie did not prepare me for how the dinosaur actually becomes sentient. I thought it was gonna be like a brain switch thing, but like more of a mind meld. Oh, like a Freaky Friday.
I was not prepared for what happens in this movie.
You didn't think he was gonna literally put his brain inside of it?
But he doesn't even literally put his brain inside of him. Spoilers, he puts it in a jar of goo and jams a bunch of electrodes into it. But at Michael's house, he listened to some love songs. They sound like Bonnie Tyler. But again, I don't know if there's any licensed music in this, just like sound-alikes of the era.
I mean, with the budget that low, probably not. They probably just either did covers or things that are close to it.
Yeah. But he's got this bracelet. He's pining over his unrequited love. But she calls him and she says, can you come over? And he's elated. He wants nothing more than to go over there and just be with his main squeeze. So he heads over and
because he's responsible.
He knows what he's doing. And then he arrives and he seems like he's drunk or something. When he comes through the window, he's just like falling over everywhere. I'm like, is he hammered? The answer is no, he's just clumsy.
He's just a clumsy
drunk on love.
Yeah, drunk on love.
Billy's girls that hang off him see him go into Tammy's house, so they're like, we're gonna call Billy, but then I forgot it was 1994, so they drive off to go to a phone.
A payphone.
Which is
that's how the world worked back then. Then they kidnap Billy. Do they kidnap him from his own house?
No, essentially what happens is like the father just lets the youths in the house.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, no, I can handle this. And he just gets bum rushed by all of these
by 9 25-year-olds.
Maybe this takes place in the Escape from LA, and we just don't know it because it's a nicer part of LA. But somewhere else, Snake Plissken is having an adventure.
And he sneaks out the side of the house, and they chase him down the street, beat him up, put him in the car, and take him to the Wildcat Sanctuary.
Jeez. Yeah, they take him to African lion safari or whatever and huck him on the trail. And then he gets attacked by a cat. And then he's saved by a hunter? Like a big game hunter shows up? Or is that just with the park security?
I think that's the park warden.
I have, he has a name. I wrote it down here. I'll get to that in one sec.
I thought it was one of those
I have some questions.
LA big game hunters that run around with hunting rifles.
I thought this was a universe where they just had a quarantined off area where they have every kind of big cat. I didn't pick up on the fact that it was an actual animal sanctuary. So in my head, I'm watching this going like, why is there a lion? Why is there a cheetah? And why is there a panther? But also, why is the fence for this place just a regular fence? Like, wouldn't there be like multiple fences to go into? I know I'm asking too many questions of this movie.
Are you asking why? We told you you're not allowed.
Okay.
That way
they
lies
do.
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
And madness leads you to building an animatronic T-Rex, stealing a child who is in a coma, and putting his brain in it. So maybe don't do the madness.
Yeah, you're right. This is actually how the doctor became. He watched this movie in like a Back to the Future time loop, went crazy, and created the dinosaur that is in this movie.
Yeah.
That's how
I think the minute
happened.
that I was like, "Oh, you can't ask anything of this movie," was this the second that the little weird puppet hand checks for change in the payphone. You're like, okay, this is the kind of movie.
It was before that.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Arise, my creature, arise," and they managed to make the animatronics work with the computer, and he's like, "Well, this works just fine, but like, I need a human brain, though. Even though this is working, I need a human brain for some
reason. It could work
reason.
better. Yeah, it could be better. You know, you don't know. We don't know until we try. Also, when we get the brain, I'm going to make someone's penis dance. I'm planning in ahead to do that. Yeah, I want to.
He says it's his
also,
favorite part too
my
when he does
lackeys
that.
might be in love with each other.
Yeah, which is fine. Maybe they're together. Who knows?
That one though was so fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, like the super like androgynous one where you're like, I can't tell your race, your gender, your sex. I don't know what's going on here with
The little one.
The little one. Yeah.
It was just smarmy all the time.
Yeah, and like
can't be as good as my computer, man.
And he kept doing crazy laughs. Where I'm like, is he supposed to be insane as well? But then you're like, oh no, he's mimicking the other doctor, I think. But really, it's not made clear, and you never find out because by the time that your brain is trying to process it, he gets his head bit off. Like, oh, never mind.
He kind of had a bit of the like Andy Milonakis disease, where it looks like he wasn't fully formed as a man. Also,
Jesus.
Yeah.
He had that like he
making assumptions like about this person.
Adult child boy.
Yeah, he looked like a 45-year-old, 12-year-old.
Yeah. But the big game warden shows up, or the game warden shows up, and I thought he was going to be more of a character, but he shows up for 9 seconds, shoots off a gun,
takes him to the hospital, yeah.
And then we're just at the hospital, and Byron and Tammy show up. I like when they go up to the counter. The person behind the counter, first of all, is the most stereotypical hospital receptionist I've ever seen, and I always love those characters. But did you notice the guy that like walks into frame in the background with like 3 bullet wounds in his chest and he just dies?
I don't think it would be impossible to miss him because he's screaming and she says, just a minute. He collapses on the floor. You see that guy, and then you see another guy who has like crazy like bandaged hands being led down the hallway. I wanted them to go down the hall and just see like tons and tons of like really fucked up people because it was really feeding into my like, is this the Escape from LA? I want to see some more really fucked up people in this hospital, but we didn't get many, unfortunately. They find Paul Walker, he's unconscious, and then the scientists arrive because they hear of this, I guess, or they're just there to find anybody, or is it specifically called in? I can't remember how this.
They were looking. They were looking for
by a doctor who works there.
Oh, yeah. Right, the guy who's like, we've got something perfect for you, or whatever. I love the fact that he comes in wearing a turtleneck, a lab coat, and just smoking a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He doesn't even take the cigarette out of his mouth to talk. Yes, all good, all of it excellent.
I thought it was Richard Grieco. That like actor that comes in as the doctor that called in the other doctor, but it's not Richard Grieco, just a guy that looked like him because it felt like a cameo. And Richard Grieco would have been in stuff at this time, but it wasn't him. They just looked very similar. Also, I wanted to ask you guys about the fact that Paul Walker got mauled by a lion, but his face is just perfect. He's just looks great. Not even a black eye.
That's what they're paying him for.
His face is perfect, but somehow he ended up in a coma.
Yeah.
He's just shock-induced trauma. Or maybe like bled a lot. Or
blunt force trauma to the head from a lion.
But you don't see any actual lion wounds when they're operating on his body.
No. Yep. Listen, the budget's low, guys. It's a really low budget. They
They
spent
used
a
up
lot
all
of
the
money
fake
on that
blood.
fake Paul Walker head.
Yeah, exactly. They used all the budget on the fake blood for when the heads get pulled off, and those weird scenes of the dinosaur running through the countryside. You know?
Oh my
where it's
God,
just,
with the little,
almost
like,
stop motion. Yeah,
stop motion, like little pitter patter of the feet.
yeah.
His little tippy tappies. I love him.
The guy who
He's a
plays
great
Dr. What's his name? Dr. Weschenstein or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something
He's-
German.
Yeah, he's been in so much, and he's still working to this day.
Dr. Wackenstein, because he's so
Wackenstein.
whack. Terry Kaiser. Yeah, I recognized him immediately, and it looks like he's just he's Bernie. He's Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh,
That's where I recognized him from.
I've never
that's
seen Weekend at
crazy.
Bernie's, but
Well, let me tell you, maybe this year I don't do animated movies. I
movies
do
where
Weekend at
there's-
Bernie's 1 and 2.
oh god, you do movies where people are pretending corpses are alive.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Wasn't there that Swiss Army Man or whatever? You could do that.
Oh yeah, I guess Swiss Army Man is kind of like that.
I love that movie. It's
there's
the most
probably-
heartwarming movie about a bloated farty corpse ever made.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's probably more movies like that we could find if we do some digging.
There's
Yeah.
Uncle Bob.
10
is
minutes and I will
introduced
have
here.
a full list.
Yeah, that's the bee we know. The bee that has a list of just the worst movies that she loves, and we love her for it. But Uncle Bob is there. Byron takes his flask and drinks from it, which I actually got a pretty hearty chuckle out of.
Oh,
Tammy
this is also where there's a
apologizes
joke
for
that
all
like
this.
I never noticed the first time. Where like when they first get there, Byron's like, "Do I recognize you? Have you been in movies?" And then
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Wackenstein says like,
You didn't see
haven't-
those ones.
You haven't seen those movies," which is I think implying that she's in pornography, but because
Yep.
he's gay, he wouldn't have watched that type of pornography. And
Yeah.
I never noticed that joke before, and I was like, solid, good,
You
solid
know
gold.
what, though? I'm glad to know that there is life after porn.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
true.
as a professional naked person, when I am done with taking my clothes off, I can go be a slutty assistant to a mad scientist.
You know, I've always dreamed of that as well. So I'm glad
Be-
that it's open
can
to
I
all
just-
types of people.
Can I just point out that this Halloween, this year on Halloween, you were literally that at Superkicked.
Yep.
You've already done it. It's already on your resume.
Wait, there was an actual real mad scientist there? Crazy.
No, yeah. So Sam was playing like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of thing, and the whole conceit was he was looking for wrestlers to turn into his new monster.
Mm.
And
Right.
B
He
was
was a
B was
bodybuilder.
there.
He was building a body.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And B was the
With blonde hair and a
the
tan.
assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call me Bigor.
Bigor? Okay.
Yeah.
It was great because I brought my own like light up prop giant needle
Mm.
and
Cool.
we used it in the last show, and it was Sam was gonna go and wrestle the big guy, but he needed to be essentially pumped up, so I had to inject the needle into his butt, and I got to make a pegging joke, which I always love doing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Some top tier
Yeah.
humor, pegging. What color was the glow of the needle? Green?
Green.
Yeah. Reanimator.
Has to
All
be
right.
reanimated. Dude.
Yeah. Cool. That sounds fun. I wish I was there. Ooh, they steal his
Billy-
body.
Well, Billy shows up. Billy punches Tammy in the head. Tammy kicks him in the balls. Byron threatens to scratch him. The whole thing's insane. And I was wondering if this movie is a parody of something. Like it kind of almost feels like a Mel Brooks parody of a bunch of stuff. But I think it's just like a parody of like teen romance movies and B movies.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a direct parody of anything necessarily. But Dr. Wackenstein shows up. He makes it into the room where Mike and Tammy are, and apparently he's a neurosurgeon, and implies that Helga's a porn star, which you guys already covered. And Helga, so they do this little like bait and switch where Helga goes over to like investigate Michael, and she fucks around with the heart monitor to make it look like he's
He's
flatlined.
flatlining.
And that's how they basically kidnap Michael.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I wanted to bring this up
Solid
about Helga's specifically, she's still working, and she's a famous Canadian bit part character actor. And she was in stuff like Lex the series, like she's mostly TV. But I wanted to bring that up because I thought that she was like pretty good. She's got good comedy chops, and I was excited to learn that she's Canadian.
Oh, she did some voices for Dune. I wonder. Oh, what? She also does Elsie and Megan. She does lots of voice work.
Yeah.
I wonder where she's at. Maybe I can be friends with her.
Yeah, she's probably like in Toronto.
Yeah. Whoa, she was in Star Wars Outlaws. I just played that. Also, I just met another guy who was also in Star Wars Outlaws, who's also from Toronto. I wonder if they do all the voice acting here. Anyway, this is stuff I can look up on my own later. I just want to do that, That's my goal.
Her name's Ellen Dubin, and when I saw Megan, I was like, "What?" She's also on Turning Red.
She plays Captain Phasma in the video game.
Yeah,
crazy.
She was in Napoleon Dynamite.
So is the guy. So is the pizza man who gets killed in this movie.
That was Pedro.
Yeah,
she's connected to Final Fantasy.
The pizza guy doesn't get killed; he runs away.
That's true. I forgot.
Right, which I was surprised about. I was like, that guy's gonna get bitten in half. Also, was that the actor from Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah, that was Pedro.
Was that Pedro? That's what I thought.
That was Pedro.
Those guys are twins, though, so it might have been his twin brother, but I would venture to guess.
No, it was actually Pedro.
It was Pedro.
I looked it up.
Yeah. Nice. So they knock out the other kids and take Mike to the morgue, quote unquote, but they actually take him to the factory or the warehouse. When they get him there, he wakes up, or when they're loading him into the car, he wakes up and makes a Wizard of Oz joke, which was a little ham-fisted, but I did laugh at. Like I did have a chuckle at that. And this is when I noticed that the mischievous music going on when these two Vulcan skull style scientists are being mischievous. That's something else that I really found hilarious. But yeah, Helga knocks him out repeatedly. She knocks him out here and then again once they get him to the warehouse. Comedy. I wrote comedy horror at its
to the brain getting ripped out. That's the most interesting part.
Comedy horror at its best here, cutting open Mike's head while they smoke over him. The thug pukes. And there's a lot of like people either smoking or in hospitals or over corpses, or like people eating near dead bodies, which I always think is pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't think that it's like you're not supposed to eat around dead bodies. I think the implication for that joke in movies is that these people are so desensitized to corpses that they're willing to just eat around them, and it's not like a thing that bothers them, right? That's what, like, I think in, what is it, that Peter Jackson movie where, like, with all the pus, where he's like constantly putting a sandwich on top of a corpse and like taking bites of it.
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive, yeah.
Oh, not Bad Taste.
No, it's the one that got like, it's the one. I think it's a cameo of him too. He's the one who's eating the sandwich. Anyway, it's been a while.
Is that the one in Dead Alive or Brain Dead? It's the same movie.
Yeah. Where he's
the one with the baby in a blender and the priest that goes, "I kick ass for the Lord."
Yes.
I love that movie.
And when at the end he runs around with a lawnmower, wielding it like a chainsaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Interesting movie. Lots of goo. It grosses me out. Pus, like fake pus in movies, is one thing that really makes me go like, ugh. And there's a lot of it in that movie. Some would say
my thing is things with the eyes, but I've been desensitized over time for eye stuff.
Well, I mean, eyes and fingernails and stuff. Yeah, that'll never. I'm just talking about when it comes to gore. Like that's different.
Okay.
That's like, yeah, because you can imagine the pain. Ooh, I'm kind of uncomfortable now.
You got the empathy. I wrote, "This is gross as hell." Haha. Not the boner joke because he's prodding his open brain and making his arm move, making his leg move. And he's like, "This is my favorite part."
Yeah, and it's like the penis from Zoolander, like moving around underneath the sheet.
Also,
funny.
Helga's like turned on by everything all the time, but at this point, you can see her take the bloody scalpel, and she's like kind of biting the like blade part of it, and I was like,
"There's more than one moment in this movie where
am I into that?"
She's just eating blood.
Yeah, she licks her fingers at one point after like touching the flattened body when they return to the factory later. She's a freak.
She's a blood freak.
Yeah. But so the way that they mind meld in this is they put the brain in like this like green goo and plug diodes into it, and I guess that transfers the thoughts over to the dinosaur's computer parts.
Right. Via Wi-Fi or something.
Or something. Wi-Fi wouldn't
Brainwaves.
have existed for another 20 years at this point. But
Are you questioning the logic of this movie again, Jason?
no, I'm sorry. There should be a buzzer every time I question the logic of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of buzzers.
Someone here?
Hey, Jason. Hey, Steve. I just wanted to congratulate you guys on 212 episodes of the podcast. That's awesome. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, so sincere. It's the first time it's felt so sincere. It's almost like he's dissing us harder.
That's what I said too. I was like, you didn't even give us a backhanded insult or a thinly veiled insult. And he was like, it's Christmas. I was like, okay. It felt, you're right. It does feel like him not doing it feels worse.
It's like he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, he's dead inside. He's dead alive.
It's insane that he was able to find a Christmas tree with 3 hours notice on Christmas Day.
I mean, you go to malls right now and they're everywhere.
True.
Anyway, yeah.
But how are you going to go to a mall on Christmas Day?
I don't know. He found one that was open.
He found one.
He did it.
He
Looks
must have
like the
filmed
type
it.
that would break into a mall to do something like that.
Yeah. He brought a speaker playing fake ambient sound of people shopping. He would do that. Anyway, the dinosaur comes to life with Paul Walker's brain.
Yeah, the two scientists leave to go somewhere. They tell him to take the body to the morgue. This is also what I was talking about earlier, where we get the weird point of view of the dinosaur looking around at stuff. And the thug and the other scientists are still left behind. They order pizza, and the scientist guy is just taunting the T-Rex relentlessly.
Yeah.
And
T-Rex
the
got a
T-Rex,
cracker?
yeah, which is the worst insult.
Yeah.
But in '94 they didn't have the science really yet that dinosaurs were evolved birds. So it's
I was
interesting.
going to say, I felt like it was a big diss because to me that was like, you're kind of birds now.
I mean, that's not true at all, because 1 year earlier in Jurassic Park, they literally talk about how dinosaurs were birds.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they? Because I
that's
thought
how
that they didn't have the science yet.
They talk about it in Jurassic Park, the movie with the dinosaurs.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think it was
the
still
T-Rex
debated at that time, but it was definitely a working theory for sure.
I think I'm thinking of later when they were like dinosaurs weren't green, and
when they
scaly,
confirmed that they
feathers.
had feathers and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a little later.
But the T-Rex does snap and just straight up bites his head off, and it is a very horror head bite.
He like a chicken runs around for a while without a head before
It goes like what would be head first into those boxes, which I laughed at.
I think this was around when the grossest scene in the movie was for me, because it was when they were throwing the pizza crust in the empty skull.
Right.
For some reason, that was the moment that made my like butthole clench.
Yeah, it's
the scientist goes like, "What the hell, man?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. It's just who cares."
Yeah, they're just gonna huck it in the morgue anyway. It's because it's got that goo inside, I think. But yeah, it is pretty nasty. There's only one other thing in this movie that made me go ugh, but this also did that. It's mostly cartoonish gore and violence, but like there is some pretty intense, nasty effects where it's like, oh, they went to the butcher and got all the actual pig guts for this. I think this isn't fake.
They saw his head open for so long. Like that scene of them like sawing the head was like, but it's so cartoony, right? I also like the choice to make the dinosaur pick up a mirror and look in the mirror.
Yeah, like the Joker.
Like the Joker.
Yeah.
No.
Mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah. It's good
So
stuff. The hands are the funniest thing in the movie. Like the dinosaur hands are so funny.
Because there's clearly just a hand inside of
like,
it. It's just a hand
doing
going
like a,
this.
oh my god, when he's picking shit out of his teeth and stuff. And it's coming
He
from
does that here.
such a terribly wrong angle, like every time. Like it's never even. I'm sure they tried, and it's like, this is the best we can do, guys. Like we cannot
T-Rex's
from this
arms are like-
angle, we can't do anything else.
Yeah.
All right, put the dino glove on.
But because it was 1994, naturally the thug comes back in and tries to karate fight the T-Rex.
Yep. He tries to Chuck Norris him.
Yep. But he just gets kicked through a wall and then stepped on, which was a cool effect. They did a thing where like he was clearly like halfway under, so his real face was there while he was getting stepped on for the first part of it. But then they step on his head and it just
pancakes.
Yeah.
There's quite a few flattenings in this movie. Yeah.
Well, he's got two moves: head bite and flatten.
That's
and
true,
swipe.
Yeah. And swipe. Yeah, he does one swipe. He also swipes with his foot, not with his hand. And we know that those hands can go wherever he wants. He picks up Byron at one point and dusts off his shoulder.
It would have been funny if they had a moment because they make the movie, they realize it's ridiculous. They should have been just had a throwaway line like, "Oh, his arms are retractable; they can pretty much go wherever." But I guess it's funnier that
it's true that it is a robot. He could go gadget his arms anywhere, but
it's funnier that it's so cartoonish that just they cut the hand
side.
coming in from the side. Yeah. So he goes out. He makes a phone call to Tammy because of course he does. There's the old lady there who's like, she freaks out. And then,
but I mean, even these little roles, right? Like this old lady, she's just going for it. She doesn't give a shit that she's talking to a big
there's a
dinosaur. It's good. And even the other couple that shows up afterwards, they're both giving it their all as well. Like this guy's like, cracking wise with it, but they're presenting the appropriate emotions that would be asked of actors, and they're doing a good job considering what the fuck is going on in this movie.
Yeah, there would have been if this was made now, there would be a scene where a person's like, "Let's get a picture with it," and then they get their head bitten off or something. And that's kind of what this couple's like, I think, leaving a theater or something. So they're
leaving like a bar. They're clearly like a little bit drunk. She sees the T-Rex and she's like, "Man, I'd like a pair of boots made out of that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Leave it alone.
Don't touch it. I saw it move." But he's laughing about it at first. Like, I think I saw it move. Those are Bruce Wayne's parents, but they don't get killed this time. They were leaving the theater. They're watching Zorro.
This is the absolute Batman universe where
he fights a T-Rex.
His mom is still alive.
Well, that explains the T-Rex in the Batcave.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
It's Michael.
Same one.
Yeah.
He deactivated the brain.
And the penny was just the blown up coin that he used for the payphone.
Yeah. It's a real fan of this movie.
And the brain is locked in Arkham, so he can't get a connection to his body.
The brain's running Arkham now. The brain's actually.
Listen, this might be a new Gotham radio bit.
See, I'd say the brain skip universes, and it's running a giant robot body in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe.
Could be. Yeah, I like that too.
Krang?
Yeah.
I like how we're headcanoning this film into other things.
He's actually controlling the dinosaur Megatron from Beasties or whatever that show is called.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beasties, depending if it was Canada or the US. So over to Billy's party. Tammy's there looking sad because her fucking boyfriend is dead.
I mean, every movie where this happens, where like somebody's boyfriend gets murdered and then the person goes to the party the next day. It happens in so many horror movies, and I'm like, I would be at home sad. I'm not going to a party surrounded by happy drunk
I definitely wouldn't go to a party where the people who murdered my boyfriend were there.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Or if I did, it would be a different horror film where it would be fucking revenge.
This whole sequence reminds me a little bit of that Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's one of the first times that Freddy actually appears in reality and massacres people. The like pool party, and I think the third or fourth movie.
The second movie.
That's what this sequence. Oh, is the second movie? That's what this sequence reminds me of a little bit. And the one girl who like looked. So back when they dump Michael at the large cat reserve, there's one girl who looks kind of like we shouldn't.
Sounds so crazy. Everything is so crazy.
It's a new sentence every time we talk about this.
I need to go get a tissue. I'll be right back. Continue.
Cool. But she comes over and she's kind of apologetic, and
Yeah, she's
but
like,
Tammy's
"I'm
like,
really
you
sorry."
killed Michael. Like, what are you talking about? You can't just apologize for murder. Because it wasn't an accident. They're like, it was just. She's like, it was an accident. It's like, no, you beat the shit out of this guy, left him for dead, and then he got mauled by several cats.
Are you questioning the logic of this movie again?
Sure. And there's just random bad dance sequences, which every 90s movie has to have. I won't question that.
Oh, yeah.
There's the
The
one girl
random,
grinding so
dorky
hard.
looking guy in the military helmet.
Yeah. It's his 60s biker helmet. That's also a World War II helmet.
I told you guys, this movie takes place in Escape from LA. He's just having fun. He's taking some time off from riding his flaming motorcycle or whatever, and he's just chilling by the pool.
Yeah.
And then after, I think my favorite part was like Billy, after doing all that, was like, "Why are you being a bitch to me?"
It's like, yep. You killed my boyfriend, asshole.
You killed somebody.
I didn't do it. The cats did it. And the cats didn't even do it. He just died later.
Yeah. Or didn't die, and he was in a coma, and some weird scientist from a different movie came and took his brain out of his head.
Imagine Billy did say that. Just predict the whole movie.
Yeah.
But
here
Billy
comes
goes and has sex in his car with that woman who's also blood hungry or whatever. The one who was screaming.
Oh my
the
god,
loudest
that sex scene is so fucking funny because he's pounding her and he's pounding her, and he keeps repeating, "I'm good, right? I'm good, right?" Because she's screaming because she sees the dinosaur, and he thinks he's fucking getting it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm good, right?" Like,
aren't I good? But it also sounds like he needs the confirmation. Like he needs he needs to be validated. He's a very insecure man.
Seeing that, I'm like, okay, I understand why you got broken up with by Denise Richards. Because anyone who needs that confirmation is never good in bed.
My life would be ruined if I fumbled Denise Richards in 1994, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Which he absolutely did. So he needs that boost of confidence. There's also the sequence right before that where Sean Whaling goes to take a piss in the bushes, and he says, "What's this piece of shit doing here?" to the T-Rex, and then the T-Rex goes swipe, and then he's just holding a bunch of guts.
That's the other one where I was like, "Ew, those are pig guts for sure."
I love that. I loved the evisceration scene. I love a good evisceration scene.
I do too, but sometimes there's like a particular type of guts that like really, like the one that looks like furry. I'm like, ugh, I hate that shit. Because I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Where'd you get that from? It happens in Tropic Thunder as well. Like Jay Baruchel gets gutted and his guts are all really weird looking. And I'm like, ugh. Sticks in my head.
This one looked especially fake though, because behind it, he just has like a black t-shirt under a ripped shirt.
Yeah, I'm not disgusted by the fact that it's coming out of his body. I'm disgusted because I'm like, that looks like real pig guts to me.
Here, hold these pig guts for this sequence.
Yeah.
I also like Billy going to warn people that there's a dinosaur rampaging, and you can see the string behind him.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going to get pulled up. And he gets pulled up, and the people actually go, he's just fooling around after he gets pulled up. Yeah.
What an elaborate goof Billy's pulling on us.
Yeah, he made it look like he's getting eaten by a real dinosaur.
Not until his head is removed do they scream.
Yeah. But yeah, he's stomping on people. Byron's there. Byron is at this party, and he finds Byron. He picks him up, dusts off his shoulders.
Dusts off his shoulders with his little T-Rex arm.
Then Byron says, "Thank you."
And then another person says, "Run!"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah." Yeah. So he goes back to rampaging, and then there's that weird moment where like the two guys are like go to hide under the car, and T-Rex goes and jumps on the car, and then it's like turns into a fake head with their eyes just shooting blood, which I thought was a really interesting little.
That moment, I was like, man, this movie is like full Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees level violence. Like it's crazy, but it's so goofy that you forget about it until you put it in again. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot this movie is so gory. Fun though.
I had a bit of a visceral reaction to Paul Walker's head getting cut at first, because they first do the scalpel, and I was like, oh no, are they gonna saw his skull? But then when they show it, it's so fake and bad, and clearly like the top is already cut. So
And it's
I immediately went, oh, it's cartoon violence. I'm
also
fine.
fake Paul Walker. Like it's so
Yeah.
waxy looking. You're like, oh, there we go. They've swapped him out. We will no longer see a real Paul Walker for the rest of this movie. And I was right. Even when they open his coffin, he's only been dead for a couple of days, and he's already been worked over by the
already
maggots
completely
and rats.
decomposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that in a minute here. But the cops show up. They find T-Rex's handiwork, and these police guys are so fucking gross. This is that scene that you were talking about earlier. But what he says is, my partner here was downright squeamish until we went hunting, and I taught him how to cut out the guts of a deer. And I was like, oh man. So that's how you become desensitized to stuff like that?
I don't know if everybody does. Sometimes it just traumatizes you.
Yeah, this guy did. I mean, I have been desensitized to like movie gore over the last 10 years pretty substantially. I can handle most of that.
But some people think that movie gore translates to you'll be okay with real gore, which is not true.
I've never seen a dead body.
So my dad had like a pretty major surgery like not too long ago, and like I love watching gory movies. I have my whole life, and me and my family watched The Walking Dead together for years when it first came out. But my mom decided to show me a picture of my dad like with a fresh like huge wound, and I was like, why the fuck do you think I want to see this? Like I don't. It's horrifying to me. My mom's like, you like gore? I'm like, no, I don't.
Not
like
really.
Movie gore, mom, you psychopath.
See, I think it's neat.
So, and that's the thing is, other people do.
My dad was a hunter, so I came home to dead deer in the trees, and it does desensitize you. I also was a teenager in the early days of the internet with Rotten.com.
Me too.
So we used to go look up the most horrible things we possibly could on the internet when we were in high school.
Yeah,
and
I lost a lot of friends that way because they would send me emails of really disturbing things that would probably get you put in jail now.
Like most of that stuff would get you put on a list now. You have to go to the dark web.
I'm sure I'm on several federal watch lists for my search history.
Anyway, the internet was wild when we were kids. I'm having flashbacks.
So there was a scene earlier where like there's the bartender and the drunk redhead who's talking to him, and Byron's talking to them as well, and she's like, back off, he's mine. He calls himself like the caveman or something. Anyway, they find those two people now underneath the overturned bar, and she tries to tell them that there's a dinosaur, but they're like, the police are like, what are you talking about? And then Byron confirms it, and then we find out that Byron is actually the son of the police sheriff. I guess he's like the chief, but he's like
he's the sheriff. Yeah,
he's the sheriff. Yeah, the sheriff of Encino, California, because you know how that.
I mean, I assume it's a small town outside of Escape from LA somewhere.
Yeah,
but we know it's in California because when the
Escape from Pasadena.
We know it's in California because when the dinosaur is approaching Denise Richards' house and her whole room is shaking, she's unfazed. So she's really used to earthquakes.
Yeah. But yeah, Byron verifies it. This is where they make that really bad random the one gay joke in the movie, which is like you said, it's just dumb boomer humor.
Not the one, but it's the first one that these dildos make.
Yeah. But yeah, he tells them. Okay, so when he tries to tell him, Byron's trying to explain all of this, and the police sheriff is like, was everybody on drugs here? So he automatically goes,
I don't know, Dad. And then he still says, I want everybody tested for drugs, including the corpses. Yeah.
But after all that's said and done, we go over to the dock, and Helga, they find the T-Rex's handiwork back at the warehouse. And he's basically like, I don't care about any of this. The rich capitalists are going to love this. They're going to make so much money. We're going to have people, I think he says this later, but he really wants to make it so people can just put their brains in robots or animals.
Westworld, everybody.
Yeah.
So that nobody has to die.
Exactly.
Immortality, and also their concern is being immortalized in the eyes of science or whatever. Like people are going to remember what we did here today forever.
Honestly, if instead of dying, I could get my brain put in an animatronic T-Rex, I 100% would.
Maybe. I don't know about a T-Rex, but maybe a house cat.
I would want to be a T-Rex.
Okay, fine.
I'd like to be either a T-Rex or a house cat with the option to switch to other things, I think.
What about like a classic 50s robot, like from Lost?
Yeah, like a Danger Will Robinson or one of the robots from Fallout.
C-3PO.
C-3PO. R2-D2.
Oh.
Now R2-D2 would have problems because I don't think the world is set up for an R2-D2 bot.
He can fly. He's got jets.
Oh yeah, he's got the little jet. The little
put
jets.
in Marvin, the paranoid android's body in Hitchhikers, I'd be fine.
Giant head.
I understand why he's upset. He's so small.
Only if I could still talk like Alex Rickman. There's tons of robots I'd go inside of other than this shitty body I'm in.
I mean, there's tons of robots I'd go inside of too, but that's just because I've always wanted to peg a robot.
Merry Christmas.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm getting no presents this year.
This is your present. This is all
gift.
you get. Yeah.
You should have heard we were talking about coal the other night.
Yeah.
That was a wild
couple weeks ago when we were talking about
rare exports.
Rare exports.
Or rare imports in the case of the coal.
Heyo. Go check out that episode. It's very funny. You can find it now on all social media. I don't know.
There's about 10 minutes at the end where Matt and Jason both continuously call me a misogynist. And it made me very sad. Jason thought it was funny.
I was getting revenge because you call me a misogynist constantly. You think I hate women.
You are, and you do. Just kidding. I'm joking.
My own wife facilitates that joke too. So.
That's why I do it as well.
It's a weird running joke. My friends are like, "You're because I'm the least." Anyway, I'm not going to defend myself because then it just sounds like I'm defending myself. So the T-Rex goes to see Tammy. Her parents hear her scream, but they're also using like a blender, and they're like, "Did you hear something?" So they go up to like check things out, and I like the idea that like her parents are like, "Don't bother Tammy." I want to know more about what this dynamic between her and her parents are, that she's like a princess in a tower. Don't just leave her alone. But that's when we also see like her room shake because the dinosaur shows up.
Oh my God, a spider.
And they come into the room. Her room is fully turned over. So is the implication here that the T-Rex went into the room and grabbed her? Or like, I couldn't even figure this out. But what we find out is when the police come, tells her parents she thought she saw a meteor crash into the field out back and she was just going to investigate the meteor, which I thought was also really funny.
They live in the post-apocalypse, Jason. Meteors fall all the time. Don't you know anything?
I do now. But T-Rex ends up taking her to a barn. He gives her the flower. He bites it to show that he's Michael. He's trying to tell her he's Michael, but this whole sequence is the most tedious game of charades I think I've ever seen in my life. And I know it's meant to be
painful.
Long and painful,
but
doesn't
sometimes
play that way.
I know it's supposed to be goofy in the sense that it's like, oh, she can't figure it out, and he's a stupid robot dinosaur with tiny hands who's having a really tough time doing charades. But like, I was like, okay, we get it. Move on. Just give him a pen and some paper. He can write, right? Those hands are pretty articulate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was a lot, but she figures it out eventually. And then there's this wide shot of her. She's up on like hay bales and they show the full dinosaur and she's like smooth. I thought that was a really funny shot of just a full-size T-Rex with a little tiny lady kissing the dinosaur up, like lifted up. Yeah.
I liked how they hinted that she and dinosaur Michael definitely smashed.
They definitely
could be
multiple times.
Like there is so much subtext that they smashed. Like even later when the mad scientist see her and is like, do you think she knows where he is? he is, or she's seen him. And the other mad scientist is like, look at the way she's walking. Of course she's seen him.
Oh my god. Wouldn't a dinosaur have a cloaca though?
I don't know what dinosaur dicks are all about.
Maybe he fingered her with his
With his super hands. Yeah, they're articulate.
They're extendable.
Multiple points of articulation.
I don't know. Maybe the tongue. Maybe
the tongue.
Oh yeah, I guess he does have a massive tongue.
He does. He does have a massive tongue.
But we know that she doesn't like big wieners. There's a joke later where she's like, "No, that's too big. I don't like that dong."
I've got some questions about that. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to it. But sorry, I jumped ahead. This is when this is the meteor thing that I was just talking about. So she was just investigating the field out back. This is when I was like, there are parts of this movie that feel like they are made up as they go along. Mm-hmm. It feels like a lot of dialogue is improvised.
You mean not the entire movie? Yeah, the whole thing is improvised. The movie is improvised. The first
what it feels
like. I think a big chunk of it, like, legitimately was. I think that's actually.
You know, when you hear stories about when you hear stories about how, like, when they were filming The Hobbit, sometimes Peter Jackson would come in and he'd be like, "I wrote 13 new pages last night for the script," and then they would just have to do it on the day. It's like that, except it's Tammy and the T-Rex. The only thing that wasn't improvised was the animatronic robot that they had access to and needed to film every single day.
But even that, the hands were doing a lot of improvisation.
Yeah,
the robot hands or the T-Rex hands. So Sheriff and Byron have a little fight. Basically, the sheriff is like, "You got to get out of here, man." And when she leaves, Tammy basically explains the situation. And then the next sequence is the funeral for Michael, which is also, it just cuts to these extras that are somehow bad at acting as extras. And Tammy can see the T-Rex in the bushes. It's a giant 9-foot tall T-Rex that nobody else seems to notice, which I thought was really funny. And she pokes Byron. She's like, "Look, he's here." Which is a great thing because that's a trope. The person who's not actually dead showing up to their own funeral happens every time this sort of thing happens. I thought that was a good kind of play on that.
Yeah.
And Uncle Bob gives the eulogy, and it's pretty heartfelt. He's basically like, "Everybody knows I'm just a drunk, but seeing Michael be the star quarterback, he kind of he was kind of the light of my life. And he gave me hope." And I actually thought that was kind of sad because this character is a throwaway comic relief, parody of drunks.
Yep.
But for him to give this
eulogy, we never see him again after this moment.
Yeah. Well, we see him a few minutes later where he's just like wasted again up against the
sobered up
tombstone in the background.
Yeah.
And then they go and they're like, "We got to check to see if it's really him." So
where we see that he is not looking great.
No,
he's in rough shape.
Fully decomposed somehow in one day. Doc and Helga show up. They plan to this is when they talk about giving people robot bodies in the future. Tammy and Byron check the body. T-Rex shows up. Doc grabs Tammy and takes her. She manages to fight them off. They push them in. This is a real like slapstick moment where they're just kind of like clawing at each other and throwing each other into the grave, which I thought was funny. And they plan to go get Michael another body, so they head to the morgue to look for a body.
Yeah, they go through the morgue and they're like, "Too old, too old, too old. Penis is too big." Then he brings up one guy and Byron's like, "I hope this isn't a race thing," because he like gets thinking a black guy. And then he brings another guy, and it's like he doesn't like any of the corpses, it seems. And they don't.
And then Byron brings up a girl,
a woman.
He goes like this.
Tammy is like, "Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't want a girl.
And
I want a guy."
Michael's like, "I wonder what it would be like to have my own boobs, though."
Yeah, he does think that. You can tell. I wish that there was some internal monologue with this dinosaur because there's a lot of vacant looks that you get. Why not give him a couple of lines of ADR, just being like, "Oh, God,
you know what, though? I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like that everything is done through, like, mime because it's so fucking funny.
So goofy.
Like, when they're driving the dinosaur in the truck and you just see the dinosaur's head peeking over like a dog in the back seat.
Yeah. It's fun because I was like, I wonder if it's even going to be moving back there, but it is. The mouth is moving and there's sounds coming out of it. I'm like, okay, this thing is. They milked this dinosaur for every penny that it was worth. $1 million worth of pennies, and it's great. It's great.
$900,000, and the rest of the movie was basically nothing. They probably paid Denise Richards $4,000 to be in this, and she was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'm a."
This last part of this
up-and-coming
movie
actor.
is basically just like location. Like they just keep moving from location to location. The cops show up, and then the scientists show up. Then the cops show up, then the scientists show up, and then they just move to a new location.
I think this was all filmed like within 25. Hold on, where is it here? All of the locations were within 25 minutes of Stuart Raffles' house. There was a large fire that took place during the shoot, and as a result, smoke can be seen in some shots.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice any smoke. Yeah, I mean,
I want to show you guys Stuart Raffle because
I have a picture of him right here.
do you have? Can you put it up?
He looks kind of like Tom Clancy.
He looks a little bit like Dusty Rhodes.
Or not Tom Clancy, Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
Clancy Brown, not Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy is different. Anyway, I can't put up the picture. Who cares? He's a white man with white hair.
yeah. But
Kind
he's
of looks
also
like
wearing.
this time.
He wears aviators in a lot of the pictures, and I was like, "Is this Dusty Rhodes making this movie?" So the police show up. They leave with the dinosaur, but Doc and Helga escape as well. Oh yeah, sorry. They capture Doc and Helga and tie them up, and
So
they
take
all
them aside,
leave.
They leave them in the car when they're in the morgue, and then when they leave, they untie themselves.
Yeah, and there's that stupid line where it's Helga, chew my rope, and then she does the thing where she
goes, ooh,
Yeah.
auga.
Yeah, it's a blow.
And then he makes a weird noise like she actually is performing on him. You're like, oh, what's going on?
performing on him.
Maybe they've got a rope chewing fetish. Don't kink shame.
That's true.
Don't kink shame.
Everybody's got their thing.
So
They
the cops
look
are.
like they have a lot of things.
They do.
Yeah.
One of which is having sex with corpses. They say it multiple times. Oh God.
They're definitely that couple in the bar that's like, we liked your vibe. We saw you from across the room, except they do that at the morgue.
Talking to the corpses. We liked your vibe, Mr. Corpse.
That's
Ooh.
extremely funny, B.
Looks like it has the perfect amount of rigor mortis.
We'll just let that marinate for a moment because Jesus Christ is
Can
the
you
day. That
imagine
is
him sitting in the cuck chair in the fucking funeral home while she's riding the corpse on the
Oh my
I didn't
God.
want to imagine that, and now I am. So
Yes. Slower.
It's definitely her doing the riding. He gives me such cuck chair vibes.
Yeah, he's probably impotent.
yeah, he's literally Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. So.
Yeah. Like he plays a corpse.
Maybe
Well, which
he is
in-
creating a corpse.
Yeah,
In that movie, during the party, the girlfriend finds him laying on the beach dead, his girlfriend, and has sex with him. So it
Yeah,
tracks.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then they used a similar joke in Clerks.
Yep. I sure did. How many blowjobs?
37 in a row?
In a row?
No.
So the cops are in pursuit of the kids and the dinosaur. They go through an orchard. And they're stopped by a river, and T-Rex gets knocked off by a tree. And there was a funny little joke here where Denise Richards goes, "He's bleeding," and Byron's like, "He's a robot. He's mechanical. He can't bleed."
He is very funny, that character. He's got a lot of good, like, what the fuck moment. Like
He's
everything's
us.
happening. He keeps being like, what the hell is going on here?
He's the audience insert.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is any of this? But Byron gets arrested trying to stop the cops. And then Tammy and the dinosaur ride into the literal sunset 20 minutes before the movie ends.
They arrest Byron. Byron gets arrested twice in the last like 15 minutes of this movie.
So there was a bit of this was confusing to me because it kind of just cuts to Byron on a bicycle dressed like a cyclist, like a stereotypical cyclist you would think of. In behind him, there's like a cop coming, so I thought it was going to be a whole thing, but I don't think that. I think that's inconsequential because he gets to the barn.
They didn't have time, Jason. That cop just showed up by accident.
Yeah,
They're like, just film it. Who cares?
that was that was just an actual unpaid extra. Yeah, but he rolls up to the barn, and
do you think they got permits for this shit for filming in this movie? No,
absolutely,
it was guerrilla style.
Byron catches up with them there, and he basically reveals to them that they're like, I thought that we were safe and we got away. Like, no, the whole world is looking for you because there's an animatronic dinosaur that has killed like 5 to 10 people.
Yeah. Like, I know he's pissed that they killed him, but he did go on a killing spree. He's killed a lot of people.
I mean, to be fair, if I was put into the body of a dinosaur after my enemies killed me, the first thing I would do is kill them back.
That's true, especially if it was a robotic dinosaur that was indestructible.
Yep.
Kill you back.
Like, tag, motherfucker, you're it. It is dead. You are dead.
Everyone's getting their heads bit off, flattened, or their guts ripped out. It's happening.
Honestly, if I could do that, I would be a menace.
I believe you. I believe that you have like a thing where you want to be a dinosaur and just take revenge on your enemies or your tangential enemies or people that
she literally just said that.
Yeah.
In every like tabletop RPG I play, for some reason, I'm always some sort of super powered vor himbo.
Oh my god, a vor himbo.
Yes.
In this economy.
Stump, big, ugly, tanky, and eats my enemies. My DMs a lot of our games, and he's like, B, don't want to ask any questions, but this is the 5th time you've played this exact type of character. It's starting to become a pattern for you. We're all a little concerned.
I know we all treat D&D like therapy, but I think you're really treating it like therapy. You need to stop. I get that, though. I often end up playing similar characters. I'm like, I need to pick something different. And then I'll go so far in a different direction that I'm like, well, never knew this about myself. I'm discovering things every day that I didn't know about myself. My current character is a torturer, but everybody was like, oh, so what are you going to like torture them with like tools and stuff? I'm like, no. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring in your son. I'm going to, before your eyes, erase your son's memories of you to him, making him no longer love you. That's the kind of torture I'm going to do. And I do it a lot, and it's very effective. There's nothing quite like breaking somebody's spirits without even touching them. Anyway.
I do that a lot, too. That's a lot of my bread and butter, actually.
It's fun. So the barn, this is like a barn standoff now. The end of the movie has arrived, and all of the police show up. They say, what does he say? He says, we'll surrender. We need something white other than you. I think she just takes her bra off, maybe. I assume it must be her bra. They didn't just find a bra in the barn, unless it's from the last time they're in the barn. Maybe. And they tie it to a string, and they come out. And, oh, yeah, there's another horrible homophobic joke earlier than this. I just wanted to say that there's more than one, and they keep happening. And every time I'm disappointed. I'm like, movie, you're doing so well. Stop this. Stop this now. And they come out with a bra on a stick, and they surrender, and then the cops arrest the both of them just in time as the scientist shows up, and we get a weird 80-yard line being like, it's that weird German doctor and that lanky bitch. Like, oh my God. These cops are terrible people.
But then there's this great moment where he's got the tranquilizer gun, and Byron's like, how are you going to tranquilize a mechanical robot? And he just starts ranting about crystals, just sort of rambles.
No, we talked about this earlier, but it's like, you think that he's making it up on the spot, but then it just turns out that he actually has a tranquilizer gun, and maybe all the stuff he was talking about in terms of crystals was true.
It may as well be true. This is one of those you can't question at moments, for sure.
The thing that I question is, like, if the brain is not inside of the robot, which I thought it was for some reason, why can't he just like stab the brain or like, you know, from wherever it is? Anyway,
I think that's one of those you can't question at moments because.
But why wouldn't they just put it in the robot? Maybe it's because they couldn't fuck with the robot. Like they couldn't cut open the robot because the guy who owned it was like, "You cut that robot up, you fucking buy it."
True.
Like, okay, we'll just make it in this room.
It wouldn't make the last scene of the movie make any sense either, because what ends up happening here is
the doctor goes in with his tranq gun and he misses. He shoots like a stuffed deer in the head by accident.
He shoots a bird. I think
does not
I think
really.
John Woo showed up for a second because a dove flies into the scene and he shoots it.
He does not reload his gun, and he pays the price because his guts get ripped out a second later.
He eats the doctor. I thought what was going to happen is the doctor gets eaten, and they're like, he's the only person that knows the science, so we can't get the brain out of the body, and that's too much thought for this movie. But then the cops just immediately all open fire on this T-Rex, and I'm still going, it's a fucking robot. But they take down the T-Rex, and everybody's sad. Like immediately after, everybody's like, oh,
we shouldn't have done that. He wasn't killing good people. It's not like he was on a killing spree of unstoppable fury that he just killed anybody that got in his way. He was only killing bad guys, basically.
It's true. He's kind of a superhero in a lot of ways.
Yeah, a regular Deadpool.
Yeah,
it's very Toxic Avenger, actually.
Yeah,
it's very Toxic
Avenger. A lot of stuff in this movie reminded me of Toxic Avenger. Actually, I was thinking about it, like especially like the flattened bodies and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is very
and like the brand of comedy throughout.
Yeah. I haven't seen that new one, but I really want to watch it.
So do I.
We should do it for the show.
Sure.
We should blind watch it for the first time and then do it in the new year, the three of us. I think that sounds
good.
But yeah, later on, Tammy's at home. So this movie just smash cuts after they're all sad. I'm like, the credits should roll here or whatever, but it smash cuts to Tammy. She's happy. She's getting home. The parents are even like, why is she so happy? Like her boyfriend's dead. But it turns out she's took that brain in a jar and she's hooked it up to like a camcorder, and her computer is what it seemed like. And the eyes of Paul Walker are the camera, but also there's like a voice box. He's talking to her, and now
perfectly replicating his voice as well. Should have been like a shitty robot voice, like, yes,
hello,
baby.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Please take off your clothes to reveal white lingerie. Shake it. But I guess that's their dynamic now. He waits around all day for her to come home from school, and then she just puts on a Motley Crue style music video lingerie set and dances around, and then he just fucking explodes.
This would be a torturous life to, I think, most people. Just being
it's very Black Mirror,
sitting there waiting for people to come entertain you.
Yeah.
But she got him a therapist.
That's true.
True.
Get me a body though, lady. I need a body. At least hook me up to a USB to like an Xbox so I can play some Xbox or something.
Right.
Sitting there all day.
At least plug a Nintendo into me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the movie. It's the ending is a little bit anticlimactic because the climax of the movie happened like an hour ago. So it's weird that it has this sort of slow.
We all know why. It's because the movie was being written on the fly, and they're just like, I don't know, we'll have a standoff in a barn, and it's like, well, that's kind of really sad. We need to have a happy ending. Okay, we'll have the brain in the jar and a striptease, and everybody will leave happy and horny.
Yeah. Denise Richards will take off her dress to reveal underwear, and everybody will go home happy.
Yeah.
But that said, like overall, pretty good flick. Had fun watching it. Pretty dumb, but in a good way. Very cool as ice. Very cool as ice. Very room.
I was trying to think of which one I preferred over the two that you've.
I like this one
brought
better.
To the show. I don't know. I think I might. It's hard. It's a tough one for me. I'll think about it when we get into my final thoughts. I'll try and give you a solid answer. Which one?
Well, that's where we're headed right now.
Oh, really?
If you had to pick one, what do you think the Home Alone of it all?
When is the Home Alone of it all?
Can someone please tell me when the Home Alone of it all?
I really gotta know.
When is the Home Alone of it all?
What is the Home Alone of it all?
Now that's the Home Alone of it all.
The one episode a year where the song choice of that intro makes sense.
Makes absolute sense. Well, it's a whole month this month, technically. But the Home Alone of it all is, of course, the idea that in the movie Home Alone, the part we're all there to see is when Kevin McAllister slaps down the blueprint and he creates the nightmare maze dungeon for the burglars. And we've sort of posited over the years that every movie kind of has a sequence or a favorite part that you're there to see. B, you've been here, you know about this. I've explained it to you now 7 times. Could you give us your Home Alone of it all, but also your final thoughts on the film and a rating? So the floor is yours.
Sure. So I think the Home Alone of it all really starts when the T-Rex gets to the party and the carnage just starts. Because I think that's what we're all there to see, is just good old-fashioned revenge gore done by an angry teenage T-Rex. My final thoughts, I mean, I love this movie. I have been begging you guys to do this forever. I really appreciate you doing this for me. I love this film. I think, it needs to be higher on the cult classics list than it is. Because like I said, it is the Princess Bride of bad movies. Like it's got everything and it's so much fun. And it's those moments where you're like, that's Paul Walker. That's Denise Richards. That's a T-Rex. And none of it makes sense. And it's just the best. It's the best time. And I don't think there's a single person that I've shown this one to that hasn't like legitimately had fun watching it, even if they don't like bad movies. All in all, I'd say this is groin-grabbingly fun, and I would give Tammy and the Teenage T-Rex 5 out of 5 tiny, retractable robot T-Rex arms.
Awesome.
Very good.
Very good. Steve.
The Home Alone of it all for me, I think, is when Paul Walker's wiener is dancing, and I'm like, okay, I now know where we are and where we're gonna stay. I don't think that anything is gonna get better than this or worse than this. This is funny, and I like it. This is one of those movies that I've seen it a couple of times over the years. It's not one that I'm ever sort of tempted to watch on my own, but in a situation like this where it's like Tammy and the T-Rex, oh yeah, okay, I'll watch that again. And it's also one of the ones that sticks in your mind a lot. I think about that ending sequence of Paul Walker having booze poured on his brain almost every time I've had a little bit too much to drink. I'm like, oh, I got real Paul Walker brain going on right now. And I just think that there's like a certain level of charm to this movie that, like you said, B, it's like, even if you don't enjoy this type of bad movie, you'll still have a good time watching this, especially if you're watching it with people. It's almost like it's designed for you to sit there and poke fun at it. And it's everybody's playing their characters earnestly and but also having a good time while doing it. There's so many times where characters are like smiling and like seem jovial in the moment, and like this all seems like everybody's at least happy to be doing this giant piece of shit. And I like it. And I'm so happy that you revealed to us that my idea, I'm like, this seems like they just had this robot for a very limited amount of time and they had to make a movie within like 2 weeks, was correct. I did not know that, and I'm happy that I do know that now. When it comes to my rating, I think I will give this a brain submerged in whiskey. Probably one of the better ways to watch this movie, if you ask me.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I did say that I was going to try and tell you which one I prefer, this or Cool as Ice. I think that Cool as Ice inches out slightly ahead of this movie in terms of like enjoyability for me. But I think it's just because I'd never seen it before and it was so strange and odd, and it like breaks almost every rule of filmmaking. It shouldn't work at all, but it still does. Whereas this movie, you kind of know what you're getting into and you're along for the ride with it. So, but I think they're both pretty like equal when it comes to my level of enjoyment, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. And it's funny, you guys both basically said everything I was going to say. My Home Alone of it all is basically when the dinosaur leaves. I'll add a caveat to that. When he doesn't immediately just kill the old lady and the couple, you realize he's got a bit of a code. He's on a revenge path for the people that sort of sent him here. That's kind of my Home Alone of it all. He's got a bit of a code.
The Teen Rex has a code.
Teen Rex has a code. The T stands for teen in Tammy and the T-Rex.
Well,
Also,
you know that this has 3 names, right?
I would like to know all the other names of this movie, please.
There is Tammy and the T-Rex, Tammy and the Teenage T-Rex, and Tanny and the T-Rex.
Tanny?
Tanny, yes. That's it made it onto some sort of cover.
Jeez.
That's the Japanese version of the movie.
Yeah. Somebody just didn't know how to read the font in cursive. They're like, are those M's or
They
N's?
blew all their budget at that point, and
They couldn't get the posters reprinted.
That absolutely tracks. But as far as final thoughts, like you guys both nailed it. The movie feels like a cobbled together mess, but like it works. Like it's a magical movie that shouldn't make sense on paper and didn't. They were like, we have this piece.
Oh,
of
this was never written
movie
down
on it.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just Stuart Raffle just started yelling stuff at the actors, and they're like, "That sounds fine, let's do it." But the fact that they all commit to the bit really takes this movie to the next level, and I think that's why it has its cult status, and it's got a cult status with me now. Like this is something I'm going to go back and I'll throw on because I just want to see all the ridiculous moments. I love the Helga and Dr. Wackenstein, love them, especially now that I the whole movie I'm going like, where do I know that guy from? And it's literally Bernie for Weekend at Bernie's, another movie that's in this same world of how did this get made ridiculousness. But I loved it overall. I gave it it's a solid 3 out of 5 for me. Just like a good movie, that easy to watch. The pacing is great. It's only in 90 minutes, but it flies by so fast because the movie's over after Billy dies. To me, like after Billy died, I thought Billy was going to be the antagonist for the whole thing, but he gets killed at like the hour mark, and I'm like, what are they going to do now?
Yeah,
but they do so many things.
That's how I felt about Luke Cage.
Yeah,
they killed off the primary antagonist halfway through the series, and then but Luke Cage fell off, whereas this just kind of kept going in a far different direction.
And you don't have to watch 10 episodes. You only have to watch 90 minutes of this.
Imagine a 10 episode miniseries of Tammy and the T-Rex.
I'm in.
I'm
Figure it out, Paramount.
Yeah.
But if I was actually to give it a rating, I would also give this a brain steeped in whiskey, but with 2 sexy dances from Denise Richards.
Oh.
And a sexy dance from Paul Walker's giant penis. But before we get out of here in a record time, apparently, we have to talk about our plugs.
All right, let me just plug this in right here and
B, what do you got going on, dude?
I am hosting a New Year's fetish party in Vancouver in a bit.
Okay.
At the Penthouse nightclub.
Cool.
So I'm doing that. And if you want to keep up with all my antics, I am at Overlair B on literally every platform.
Sweet.
Awesome. You're obviously welcome back anytime. I'd like to explore some other. I would like to pick your brain on some other ridiculous movies. We talked about it a bit before we went live, and you gave some good, like some good options. So I see you coming back on this show lots of times in 2026. Thank you for being here on Christmas Day, and I hope that your Christmas wishes were given to you.
I mean, you just gave me a Christmas wish. We got to talk about my favorite movie on this podcast. So
yeah, so we'll see you in 2026. Steven, what do you got cooking on the back burner, brother?
Well, Stanland, as always, has been out for a little while now. You guys can check that out on the Sonar Network, as well as anywhere that you can find podcasts. I'm some side characters in that, as well as the editor and a bunch of characters in the mini series that preceded it. It's quite fun and funny. I hope that you all check it out. I'm also the narrator and all the character voices for the Darth Theorist YouTube channel, as well as the Three-Eyed Theorist YouTube channel. And very soon we will have another Theorist channel coming to the internet, to YouTube. You can find us on Discord as well if you're interested in that. We've got one for each channel, and the new channel will have one as well. But also, I'm currently doing some cleanup on an 11-episode miniseries called Randy that will be re-released on the Sonar Network and probably everywhere else as well very soon. It might even already be out by the time we're recording this. I'm not sure yet, but it's a self-produced audio memoir of a 30-something man from Maryland found by Mike Sachs as CDs at a garage sale and being broadcast now for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
As is. And I've been going through and doing some cleanup and some re-recording of some stuff for it. This was recorded a while ago, so we're just editing some of the jokes and tightening some things up, but going through them, it's been really enjoyable for me so far. It's actually quite funny, so I recommend everybody check it out. It is Randy with an exclamation point at the end.
Awesome. You of course are welcome back every week. We hope to see you lots in 2026.
Am I? I'm welcome.
Just kidding. We couldn't do it if it wasn't for you. Merry Christmas and thank you for the great year that we had. We really, I think, stepped up our game this year. So I appreciate you as a co-host, and it's been great, the stuff that we've been able to do this year. As for myself, last week Super Kicked had the 10th anniversary. 2 weeks ago Super Kicked had the 10th anniversary. You can find that on YouTube. Also, I am the announcer for Super Kicked here in Toronto. We have a great year coming up. My quote-unquote contract has been renewed. I'll be the announcer for Super Kicked here in Toronto at the Great Hall and at Super Kicked Studios, depending on how things go. Also, you can find this show each and every week right here on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Those are our primary places to find the video format, but we are also on Spotify. The show typically goes up after we go live on the Saturday, and the video on demand version goes up on Sunday, typically, depending on how lazy I feel. We also have merch, so it's a little too late now. It's Christmas Day, so you could have bought this stuff for your loved ones previously, but you can get t-shirts of all of our. I'm gonna keep the bid up.
This guy is committed to the bid. He's more committed to Byron.
Even it's called kayfabe. But you can get Corporal Tunnel. All these illustrated by our very own Stephen Boba Blackfly Waters. We got Corporal Tunnel Syndrome. We got the Howie Mandela Effect. I don't know if you want this on a shirt. It's pretty bright, but you do want it. You can also get the original 4 Grimoire Familiar Killers. We're coming at you with some brand new killers in the new year. I'll give you a spoiler right now. It's going to be Alien. The Xenomorph is coming. We have the Eldritch Millennial you can get on a shirt. Once again, Steven drew himself as an Eldritch horror, which I think is great. We have Kill-Aid from our Grimoire series. That's the idea that he smashes through windows and doors, and it's always great. And of course, Twinkerbell, a fan favorite, which you can get on a shirt or a mug if you go to Redbubble or TeePublic. We also have this picture of Santa because it is Christmas. Don't forget. Picture of Mark Twain. Don't worry about who's played by him. It has nothing to do with our guests. But with that said, there's one question that needs to be asked each and every week. And B, you know the drill.
Hey, did you see this one?
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a giant Paul Walker dong to you and your loved ones.
Ding dong, Paul Walker's dong, Paul Walker's dong.
No. Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one?
and take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.
Hi, this is Michael Jackson.
And this is Ariana Grande. And we wish you
a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh,